Friday, obviously. We got to talk about jokes. A lot of people don't understand what a joke is. And this has bothered me for quite some time because if I read comments on my videos or I get comments on Facebook or people send me emails, a lot of times people will say something really, really strange or weird. And I'm looking at it going, is it a joke or not? And if you can't tell if it's a joke, then it really isn't a joke. And so once in a while, I'll respond to something that somebody says and they'll go, well, I was just joking. And I look at it and go, but really? Like, shouldn't you try harder? So, I'll give you an example. This past week, I was talking about something, and I wanted to give an example of if I said to you something was missing a major element, would it really be what it was supposed to be? And I said, it's kind of like if I said The Real Housewives is going to have a show tonight, and you'll love it because there's no yelling. Would that be The Real Housewives? Is that even possible to have a show with no yelling? And I don't watch The Real Housewives, but I know people who do, but also I've seen the ads for it, and this always seems to be a bunch of yelling, And I had someone respond to that and go, Steve, the way you talk about The Real Housewives all the time, I'm starting to think it's one of your favorite shows. Now, I'd only mentioned it once. Today is the second time I've mentioned it in thousands of videos over 9 years. I mentioned it one time, and he goes, the way you keep mentioning it. So I thought, is he mistaking me for somebody else, or did I really mention them recently? Because I've done that before where I mentioned something, and I forget I mentioned it in a later video. And I wrote the guy back, and I go, when did I mention it before? And he goes, oh, I was just joking. But that's not really a joke. I mean, it's a bad joke. So I guess if you're the arbiter of jokes, you could say, well, technically, Steve, it is a joke. It's just a joke that you didn't get because it wasn't funny. But if it's not funny, is it a joke? I don't know. So another example of one where I think somebody was joking, but I'm not sure. I did the video on April Fool's Day, April 1st, Saturday, about the turbo encabulator. And I posted it, as I always do, in all the different places I post my videos. And I posted it on my Facebook page. And a guy on Facebook responded by saying, yeah, I saw this on The Onion. No, it's not an Onion joke. The Onion's never covered the turbo encabulator. You did not see this on The Onion. But I'm sure if I had asked him, which I didn't bother with, he would have said, I was just joking. But why would that be funny? You're saying something that's not true, and it's just weird because The Onion is a comedy outlet that I'm very familiar with, by the way. I used to subscribe to the paper. It came to my office. The day The Onion came, it would disrupt the office for about 4 or 5 hours of work because first I'd read it, then my partner would read it, and then my secretary would read it, and then we'd sit around and crack jokes. I mean, it was like a holiday at the office. But he goes, yeah, I saw this on The Onion. No, you didn't. Or did you think that was funny? And I'm baffled by the people who say things that they think are funny. And so if it's not funny, and it's not obviously a joke, I don't think it's a joke. I actually, that's the hill I'm willing to die on. If you say something that is not funny and people don't recognize it as a joke, it is not a joke. I'm sorry. So I'll give you another example. I shoot my videos in the highest resolution that YouTube will accept. And when I upload the video, I can see the process. First, there's a progress bar showing it being uploaded. Once it's fully uploaded, it then says, we are processing the video. And they show you the little symbols for all the different types they process it up to, including the highest quality that they do. And I've been using this camera with the same settings now for, I believe, 3 years, possibly 4, but maybe 3. And I've been doing that for quite some time. And there's a guy who comes on to YouTube almost every video and types, finally, a video in high definition. Finally. And I responded to him one time and I said, they're all in high definition. And I think he said, yeah, I'm joking. But he keeps saying it. And we've also known people who tell a joke that's not funny. No one laughs. They tell it again. It's not funny. No one laughs. And they tell it again. Again, that's not a joke. You're just saying something stupid to get a reaction, And I'm sorry, I don't think that's a joke. It's not a joke. So I will tell you that the Turbo Encabulator video, last I checked, a day or so ago, had close to 60,000, 61,000, 62,000 views, over 60,000 views. And I can see all the statistics on it, how long people watch for, how many people give it a thumbs up, all that. Right now, the percentage of thumbs ups of all the people who responded to it is 97.7%, almost 98%. So at 98%, let's go 98 because it's 97.7. We'll call it 98. 98% means that for every 100 people who respond by clicking either thumbs up or thumbs down, only 2 people out of 100 go thumbs down. And that's with over 5,000 responses out of 60,000 views. Those are decent numbers. Now, 60,000 views, it won't even get it anywhere near the top of the videos on my channel. I've got one video with 2 or 3 million views, and I've got 4 or 5 others with 1 million. And so 60,000 views, but it's still decent for a Saturday morning April Fool's video, because those don't normally do that well. Neither April Fool's nor Saturdays. So here's the thing, though. I had somebody comment under the video and go, I didn't think this was funny, which is absolutely fine. If you didn't think it was funny, go right ahead and say, Steve, I didn't think it was funny. The same way you don't think the other jokes are funny. We don't have to find something funny, okay? To which I say, okay, that's fine. And I read the comment, I read some other comments, and I thought to myself, well, the person who did that might be one of the 2 out of 100 who don't like it. That's fine. Nothing I do on my main channel gets 100%. On my backup channel, they do. I routinely get videos over here that are 100% thumbs ups. Preaching to the choir on this channel. But that same person came onto my Facebook page where I had the video posted and responded to that and said, I didn't think this was funny. Now, same person posted on the channel and said, I didn't think this was funny. But then came onto my Facebook page and said, I didn't think this was funny. And I saw it there also. And I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. Here's somebody who really wants me to know that she didn't think this was funny. And then, I'm not making this up, I got an email that same day addressed to me at my work email address where I tell people not to write to me about things like this. And she said, Steve, just to let you know, the Turbo Encabulator video, I didn't think it was funny. I didn't like it. Okay, now that you told me that 3 times, are you going to write me a letter? Send me a telegram? Could you send me a singing telegram and have somebody tap dancing on my front porch going, she didn't like it, she didn't like it. Okay, let me ask you a question. You do realize, I'm talking to you, not the person who wrote that email or that comment. I'm speaking to you, the viewer. You do realize that other people see these videos, right? You must know when you comment under a video, there's other comments from other people who see the video. So you should understand that while you are an individual that makes up the group of individuals who see videos, there are other people out there who see the video. So what is it that makes one person think that they're not liking a video is so important that they need to comment on the video, comment on Facebook, and then send me an email? Because I would look at that and go, okay, you're one of the 2 people out of 100 who didn't like it. Do you want me to take the video down? Should I stop doing videos like that? Should I change my life in response to your whims? What are you trying to accomplish when you bombard me with these messages saying I didn't like it? All it does is convince me there's one person out there who's a little bit who actually thinks, oh my gosh, one person didn't like my video. And by the way, I've mentioned this before, not every video, but I'd say about once a week, I get comments from somebody who goes, this video, you should take it down. You should take this video down. Remove it from the internet. You should delete this video. Presumably because one person doesn't like it. don't get me wrong. If I read a comment, somebody doesn't like a video and they tell me why, I go, okay. But when I crack a joke with a video, and you should know the Turbo Encabulator video is not serious. I apologize. I should have put up a thing saying this is a joke, attempted a joke. If I tell you a joke that you don't think is funny, and you say, Steve, that joke's not funny, that's fine. But you should also ask yourself, I wonder if other people would find it funny. Because, like I said, 98 people out of 100 gave it a thumbs up. And I got a lot of comments. I got more positive feedback on this video than I did for the previous 2 videos I did on April Fools. And by the way, I also did get comments from those people from time to time saying, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. It bothers me. Don't do this again. Well, yeah, I'm not going to overdub my voice over someone else's face again because, number one, it'd be repeating a dumb joke. It was a joke the first time. It'd be a dumb joke the second time to do the exact same thing. So people telling me not to do that again. So if you feel inclined to complain about a video that I've said before, questions or comments, put them below. You can put them below the video where everybody else comments. But to comment the exact same thing on the Facebook page and then to send me an email, I'm not quite sure what you think you're accomplishing there. Unless you really, did you want me to take the video down? Should I? I'm not going to. Finally, and this is something I not quite sure what to make of this. I have at the end screen of every video on the main channel my address as a post office box in Atlas, Michigan. Atlas, Michigan. And I have a post office box there, and it's a tiny little post office. It's about as small as a post office can get. There's one person who works there, and it's a tiny post office, and I walk in, get my mail, walk out. Occasionally, I mail books from there. People buy books from me. And I was in there yesterday, and there was a new postmaster. So the postmaster that I knew really, really well apparently is gone now. And the change happened about a week ago. But this is the first time I've walked up to the counter with the new postmaster. So I walked up the counter yesterday. I put a book on the counter I'm mailing to somebody. I said, I'm sending this medium mail. And she looked at the name and she goes, oh, you're Steve. And I said, yeah. And I didn't know what to make of that. And she goes, I get phone calls about you. And I said, what? She goes, people call me and ask me if I know you. And I looked at her and I go, are you serious? She goes, yeah, I got one yesterday. I go, what do they say? They say, hi. Is this the Atlas Post Office? Yes. Is Steve from Lehto's Law, does he have a P.O. box there? And she says, yes. And she said that they've actually said, and do you know him? Like, does he come in there? And she said, well, I don't know him, but he comes in here, yeah. Okay, thank you. And she said it plural. I get phone calls, plural. Who would call a post office and ask the postmaster if they met one of the people who's got a P.O. box there? Or do people really think I don't have a P.O. box and I'm making it up? I told this story to somebody yesterday and they go, no, really? What? That's what I said. So I shouldn't have to say this, but don't call the post office and ask them if they know me. I mean, they have work to do. If you want to call her and ask her how much for a first class stamp, maybe, but really? That's just weird. That's just weird to me. And so I'm going to end with that story, but I should finally tell you one other thing, and I feel really bad about this. I wear a lot of t-shirts on camera that are donated by viewers. Quite often, people will send me a note and say, Steve, I want to send you a shirt. Will you wear it? And I say, yeah, as long as it's a couple of things. I prefer it be a darker color because white does not look good in camera. And it can't be political or obscene. But I love schools, places, states, things like that. But you've seen the shirts I wear on camera. If you got a shirt that would fit in, send it on over. But I wear a double X, 2XL. That's a size I wear, okay? Now, I can sometimes squeeze into a 1X, but it depends on how it's cut. I don't like tight t-shirts, though. I don't think they look right. And they aren't comfortable. So I wear a double X. So people ask me what size I wear. I say wear a double X. Every now and then someone mails me a shirt without asking and it's the wrong size. And I've gotten 3 shirts in the last month and a half that are the wrong size. And I apologize, I can't wear them. I can't wear them. So I wish I could, but I can't. And so I got one yesterday from somebody who didn't ask. And I feel bad, but whenever I'm asked, I say this, I mention it. And people often say, double X. I'm 6 foot 2 inches tall. Okay, so just calibrate that out and you'll realize that it's not that crazy that I wear a double X. Okay, so I wear a 2XL. That's the size I wear. And if it's too small and doesn't fit, I just simply can't wear it, and I apologize. I wish I could. So I'm thinking about putting at the end screen, someplace in there, I wear a 2XL. I'm going to get people who are going to complain about that going, Steve, now you're begging for t-shirts? No, I'm not. I've never come on here and said, please send me t-shirts. I've never said that. But I have said, please send me shirts the right size. Otherwise, I can't wear them on camera. And I feel bad. So there you go, 2XL. But the real gist of this video is that if you are going to say something that you think is a joke, ask yourself, 1, is it funny? And 2, if it's not funny, well, at least people get that it's a joke. Because I would argue, the third point, that if it's not funny and people don't know it's a joke, it's not a joke. And again, I've also people say stupid things or like insults. I was just joking. And that, of course, doesn't qualify either. So there you go. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.